Guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with a quick one for you today. Uh, it's something that I've seen pop up on Facebook a few times, people talking about this, and it has to do with Warfighter by DVG. So I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents on it real quick, and it's this specific issue. I'm not talking about the game itself, which I love. You guys know I've done something like 20 some odd videos on Warfighter, because the Warfighter is just, it's good stuff. It's nice, just easy flowing game that plays pretty well. But I have seen people talking about this one specific issue, and I wanted to toss out some thoughts on it. Okay. All right. And the issue at hand has to do with the generation of your soldiers, your units, before you actually engage in a mission. Okay, so real short, down and dirty. I've got some background video on screen for you. I'll throw up some Warfighter footage in the background just to have some for you guys to watch. But real down and dirty, if you haven't played this game, Warfighter has to do, it's a card game where you pick out your soldiers and their equipment from the cards available. There's lots of expansions. I mean, this crap gets into massive expansion level territory, which is good because it gives you a whole lot of options. And you pick out an objective and a mission, and you're laid out, and you progress through different locations as you're going through your mission. Enemy types, which are varied as well. There's realistic and even zombies and dead Japanese like samurai skeleton stuff. So you can have really cool enemies as well. But they all operate on the same basic game principle. And they've got Warfighter Fantasy coming out soon, which is going to be awesome because I love Warfighter Fantasy. The thing is you have to pick out not only your specific troops, and there are 3 different types. You have your player soldier, your non-player soldier, and like NPC, or I forget the specific names of them. But the basic gist is some of the units that you pick will have their equipment listed down on their card, what their stats are, and some don't. And the ones that don't, you have to spend your allocation of points for that game that you're playing to kit them out, to give them whatever you want. Now, for most people, when it comes to Warfighter, this is the best aspect of the game. And for me, it is as well. I love kitting out my troops. I love picking out what weapons they're going to use because there's such a big variety of weapons. The attachments that you can put on the weapons, whether or not you're going to have body armor, or canteens give you, I think it's extra card draws, or you're going to have MREs, are you going to have drones overhead, are you going to have night optics, are you going to have hand-to-hand weapons? The list is almost endless with the different amount of things that are available. And like I said, it even gets into the supernatural. When you get into the zombie types, you can get some spells even. So you have to pick this, and especially this comes into play with your player soldiers, right? Because your player soldiers just have their stats. So if you spend the points for a player soldier, that's all you have. You have to spend the points on that soldier's equipment as well. Can't just be the soldier. Now, there are some NPCs, like I said, that will just list down what equipment they're using. So if you buy that soldier, you draw those cards, you're good. Or the NPCs that just give you their stats. They're cheaper units. They don't have as specialized a skill, but you can spend a few points to kind of buff out your roster a little bit. So the big issue is that some people have been complaining about this aspect of the game, and they're not letting it go. And I get it, right? I get the complaint that they have with it, because everybody's different. Everybody's not going to find the same things enjoyable. That's a great thing about tabletop gaming. There are so many different games, so many different types. You can play whatever you want, right? But they like the game itself, but what they don't like is it doesn't include preset squad lists. And like I said, I get their pain with that. It doesn't apply to me personally because I do like kitting out my troops, but I understand why that would be bothersome for a few people. Unfortunately, it is the minority that is bothered by that. The majority of people do enjoy kitting out their troops, and that's fine. Like I said, each their own. Whatever you want to go with, that's for you. Now, one of the things they've been pushing for is a app. They want an app to generate squads, and I get that. Everything has an app nowadays. Unfortunately, though, apps take a lot of money to generate, to develop these things. And I talked to a buddy of mine who's in the IT field. How hard would it be if DVG went out of their way to make an app? How much would they have to spend? And he was telling me they would have to spend a fair amount. Like if they were to have a good app developed for the game, we're talking like tens of thousands of dollars. They would have to invest into it to make it something we would actually want to use. And to be truthful, I understand why they don't, because it's a cost versus benefit analysis. And I just don't think that the cost they would have to put into developing that app is going to outweigh, or they're going to get their money back in sold games. You get what I'm saying? Any companies like this, you're only going to invest something if it's going to bring you back a bigger return on your money. That's every business operates on that basic principle. You buy a factory machine. If you're making pencils, you buy the super duper pencil maker 10,000 because it makes pencils faster and you can sell more pencils. You make more money. It's a big investment up front, but you're going to recoup it slowly on the back end, and eventually you're going to be turning that profit. I just don't see the app doing that for them, unfortunately, since the majority of the players do like that aspect of the game. Hell, for me, it's my favorite part. I wouldn't want that aspect cut out. So for people like me, the app would be useless. It would be a nothing burger. It would take away part of my enjoyment. And like I said, I'm not hating on those who find that troublesome. That's fine. Everyone's got to have their own likes and dislikes. Makes the world great. But unfortunately, you kind of got to understand that it's not cost effective for the company to invest that money into it. Now, there is a similar game system, Magic the Gathering, and part of that game, it's a fantasy game. It's kind of crappy for those of you who haven't played it. I'm sure a lot of people love Magic the Gathering. I just think the company's kind of crappy. They've been caught in a lot of scandals between like hiring pedophile judges and all this other crap that they've been caught in. But basic principle aside, they have a deck building game, and part of that game, or a card collecting game, but part of that game has to do with building your deck. And you can think of that very similar to outfitting your troops with your weapons and equipment and everything. That you have to design a game or a deck that does well in the game. Now with Magic the Gathering, that is much harder because there's something like 20,000 cards to choose from, and you can put them together in damn near any combination you want that equals 60, I think. So that doesn't really work for me. That would be way too much. But the principle of it is still the same. You have to design something. Now I think Magic would have more incentive to develop an app. In fact, I'm probably sure they have one. I wouldn't know. I haven't played Magic the Gathering a long time. But like I said, the principles are the same. For them, though, it would be cost oh crap, I'm having a brain fart. It would make sense cost-wise for them to actually make an app for that type of game. Wizards of the Coast would turn a profit. I mean, hell, they're already turning profit now, but for Warfighter, it's just not there. They don't have to. They just don't have the demand for an app to generate squads. Now, there is a demand, and I think another way they could handle that, and I think some people have done this on BGG, and one of my little suggestions I was going to put out there is develop some pre-made squads of your own. Okay, so when you're playing the game Warfighter, you'll have so many points. So let's say you have 40 SO points, or you have 60 SO points, whatever it is. Develop a good squad for 40 points. Okay. And that way, if you're playing a 40 point mission, you can use that squad or develop two of them or three of them, whatever. What I'm saying is take your time to sit down and develop a handful of squads for different point levels. That way, you've already got them pre-made for yourself, and there you go. If you want to play that level of battle, you want to play small, medium, large, whatever it is, whatever the point value is, you take and pull one of your pre-made squads. You could even do it at random, jot down on a piece of paper 1, 2, 3 or ABC, whatever it is, and like, okay, we're gonna see if B squad for 60 points can take on this mission and win. Or actually, that's kind of a good idea now that I'm thinking about it. That would be kind of fun to have some random squads like that take on different missions. I might end up having to do that. Damn it. I can't give myself more work. I got so many videos I gotta film. But I think that would actually work really well for people. And what I'm saying is, don't get mad at DVG for not making an app and not going out of their way to do this. Believe me, they want to make all their customers happy. I have never seen them do anything but bend over backwards to help out their customers as much as possible. I've always thought of them as one of the top rated customer service companies in the wargaming industry. You just have to understand the fact that they are a small company. I mean, I think they've only got a handful of people that work there. I know I've spoke to most of them that work in the company. They're good people. They are trying their best, but they don't have the ability to invest in an app. I'm pretty sure on that. I don't know what Dan's got in his pocket, and when it comes to generating some squads, I think that could be something DVG could look into. Like, hey, here's a handful of 30-point squads, a handful of 40-point squads, a handful of 50-point, 60-point, however many points they wanted to go with it, that we've pre-generated for you. That way, you can use these as a starting template or ones that you want to run in your own missions. I think that would be something that they could compromise and meet people on. I just would definitely get it out of people's heads. I got to put it out there. I really doubt you're going to see an app coming from DVG on this one. If I were them, I wouldn't spend the money to develop it. And like I said, it's not that I think that people don't deserve it or that they don't want it. Obviously, both of those things are true. It just has to come down to how much of an investment do you have to make versus how much is that going to get you on the back end. And you can't invest tens of thousands of dollars to make a very small segment of your customer base happy. You've got to put those investment dollars somewhere else. They can put those investment dollars into developing a new Warfighter game or a new leader game or a new, whatever they got going on. For What Remains freaking kicks ass. If you guys don't get For What Remains, I'm going to beat you up, by the way. Another game by David Thompson. Yeah, I'm going to toss him another shout out. Love his work. For What Remains, highly underrated. It did not get enough attention, but it damn well should have. It's a real good game. A real good game. Anyway, I won't get distracted. I'll stop rambling at this point. I just kind of want to put out some thoughts on that. Let you guys know that these companies, especially these smaller word game companies, DVG, Lock and Load Publishing, Compass Games, GMT, I can't even think of all of them. Academy Games, they're all good people. They are all trying to do their best for you guys. Hollandspiel just popped in my head. I mean, wargame companies are going to keep popping in. I don't want to forget anybody. All the wargaming companies, they're doing so much good work for you guys. It's not that they don't care. It's not that they don't want you guys to be happy or enjoy the products. It just comes down to the investment. What can they put their time and money and resources towards versus what's going to keep a roof over their head, their factory doors open, and churning out games for us. Anyway, yeah, you guys put down in the comments, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I don't care either way. Whichever way you go with it, feel free to put it down below and let me know what you think about the whole. Do you enjoy making a squad? Do you not enjoy making a squad? What's your preference when it comes to Warfighter? All right, but that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Y'all take care. I will catch you in the next one.